Hi guys, I'm Jessica. This is my sister Stephanie, and along with her mom, Chris, the Lady Monarch, we own and run Harmony Harvest Cut Flower Farm in the beautiful Shenandoah Valley of Virginia, where we grow specialty cut flowers and ship them nationwide. Today on DWI, we are going to break down how to make easy boutonnieres and corsages.
This is so fun. I have never made a boutonniere, ever.
This is going to be fun because we have changed up our setup and we are actually at Steph's house.
Hello.
We dressed all spring-like and we are going to enjoy some of the prettiest blooms coming off the farm right now. And not only that, we actually went out in Steph's yard and clipped from her landscape so that we can show you ways that you can wear flowers at home and not feel intimidated or pressured by what you have available. To replace these beautiful flowers that we have here, a simple bouquet from a grocery store or hhfshop.com will give you more than what you need. And then we just supplemented from, like I said, some of Steph's.
And I think it's important to also point out that I know what you guys are thinking. Like, you guys are flower people, so you probably have these lush landscapes. No, okay. I have like 4 very sad plants that I've put into the ground last year.
She has like euonymus.
Yeah.
These are really just hardy little shrub clippings from things that you probably are at most
Everywhere.
fast food restaurant and hotel lobbies. Don't take them. You have to ask for permission first.
Unless you have a white unmarked van, a vest, and a hard hat with a little cone and a clipboard. You got to have the clipboard.
This is Pinon. This actually is off of a shrub out of her yard. We have a little bit of forsythia. This is very delicate, so something to think about. The types of flowers that you use, it will depend on what you plan on doing with these wearables. If you're designing for a wedding, you want to make sure you properly condition all of your flowers that will be out of water, like your wearables. That's a talk for another time. So we are going to pretend you're caught up on the processing and conditioning, and that is the types of flowers that we're working with here. You can get away with using more delicate stuff if you're going to be wearing it immediately and just enjoying some personal flowers. If these are things for a wedding, we recommend making sure that you're very sturdy with the mechanics, and we're going to go over that in a minute.
Good, because I've never done this.
Okay, so let's start with a boutonniere. You're going to want a focal flower. So find something that's really, really pretty. I love these ranunculus. They look like roses. This guy is super open. If you don't want him to be quite so big, you can remove a few of the outer petals. Those typically are a little banged up anyway, so better to pull those off and have a perfect flower in your center.
Can I use a panda anemone?
You can use these. Now, I will tell you,
they're so pretty.
Not always do these guys like to hold up. So this is something I would not recommend for a wedding boutonniere. If you are going to make flowers and wear them for Easter Sunday brunch, go for it. Not an appropriate flower for a boutonniere for a wedding unless you were making it and walking down the aisle.
And then it's gonna die.
Well,
yeah, and I'm sure you can do like a Google search, right, and get like a basic list of flowers that'll last out a while.
Yeah, and we're gonna go over definitely on your statement flowers. You're gonna want something that's a little bit more sturdy, like this ranuncula. I like to leave exposed stems so things can continue to drink. But you see how much we're working with here, which means it's perfect.
Cutting it.
It's perfect when you have guys like this because we can snip it off and still use it.
Maybe I should use that one, but I'm not gonna. Okay,
just
so
snip
just
it
like
off.
What, like an inch?
Yeah, and we can
whatever
whatever makes it comfortable for you to keep working with it, and then we can trim it shorter if we want to at the end.
I'm starting with like an 1.5 inches.
Okay.
We're gonna see how that works for me. Okay.
Now here's a little trick. Sometimes I'm working with flowers, we're wearing them quick, and I do not wire. But if it's for a wedding or I'd like to get a few good hours out of this wearable piece, I will wire the stems, which means I'm taking a piece of floral wire. This is really thin gauge wire from the arts and crafts store or your floral wholesaler. And I make a big U Here, do you
bent
want to
it in half? Okay.
I did. You want to
How
cut?
long was your piece?
You can use that piece right there.
Okay, so this is a shorter piece than what she has.
But you bend it in half.
You guys even see that? I don't even know. Here, this is what they do on the gram. I'll do it this way.
Is that what they
I
do?
hope my paws are clean.
I think this is the
light's
YouTube.
just weird. Okay.
If you like what you see, make sure you subscribe to this
on
YouTube.
the gram too.
Yeah,
okay,
do that.
So I did it in
made
half.
yeah, which is kind of like our hairpin.
A hairpin. So you just okay.
Okay.
Good. I folded it in half.
Yep.
Okay.
Now I'm going down right in the center of this one because it'll be easy to hide. You're gonna want to make sure you're in that black, and I might even on your. Let me show you here.
Okay.
You did great. You went right down in there. So you can pull that down and you will not see the little loop, and that will stabilize your stem. I keep my stem in
you
place.
really can't see it.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Can they see it? Nope, can't see it.
See? Okay, so now we have wire
You guys can see it.
down here on the base.
I'm just going to see if I can show them the wire.
And I am using the stretchable self-sealing florist tape, okay? And I'm going to just wrap that right down and hide my wire, okay? Now, I like to make sure that this wire is actually shorter than the bottom of my stem. That way it doesn't poke anybody that's wearing it.
Mine is. Mine's like, that far down. About where my fingers
Yeah, but see, now I'm going back and trimming it. Can you do that?
Do I need to trim it?
Oh, no, yours is good.
I know.
You're good,
That's what
girl.
I was saying.
All right. So I have this now all taped off with this tape. See, there we go. Why we do that, besides the fact that it gives some stability to our bloom, is we can now take that flower that's sticking straight up and bend the face out a little bit. And now your flower will look out when you're wearing it. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I never put that together.
Isn't that neat? Yeah, and if you look at some of the other flowers we have here, like this is a hyacinth, and it has all these little cool flowers on it. I would actually take and wire a few of these individual blooms like this. And they don't have a stem.
Let's see, she took a piece of wire and she did the same thing. She made the loop.
I made the little loop, and then I'm just going to thread it down through here. And I wish I would have cut it a little bit longer, to be honest.
I'm going to tell you guys, this part takes practice. Oh, you're just going to have to wait.
I brought one, and she's already, like, tying it up.
Yeah.
Well, it's fine.
Okay. Okay. Once you get going.
Yeah, it kind of, like, will spin in your fingers, and it works pretty well. If you don't have that, you definitely want to use some waterproof tape. I also have this waterproof florist tape, and it's the skinny stuff. If you don't have this,
get it.
The homeowner version, I don't know where outside of floral wholesalers, but
Michael's maybe.
Maybe. If you can get it, get it.
Amazon. Everything's on Amazon.
Everything's on Amazon. This is Davy tape. It's pretty awesome. In a pinch, this is not recommended otherwise, you can cut small strips, very skinny strips of like a duct tape. It's the same type of material to use. Okay, so here I have a teeny little floret off of one of the...
I want to do that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm picking off a piece of hyacinth, and I'm going to get the wire and throw it down through and do the same thing. Got it? Okay.
Yeah, you can do this. Okay, and then I actually just layered in some texture in the back here of some of those Pinon. I love that. I think it's super cute. The way that I like to think of these boutonnieres and Pinon Corsages is actually more like a little teeny bouquet. So it's like a little bitty wearable bouquet. I like to have a little bit of greenery in the back because that helps to hold everything pretty stable and stiff. And a few little special pieces like we have here with the hyacinth and the Pinon. And I'm just kind of adding layers with my tape. I'm trying to be pretty neat. I'm trying to keep it tight. If you like dollhouse miniatures, this is the floral art for you. This is like the miniature version.
Do I put it through the petals like that?
Yeah. Now pull it down.
Right. Okay. So hold on. I gotta show them what I'm doing. I've just realized that whenever I walk around this table, they probably are gonna find out that I didn't change my pants.
Oh.
I have on. I'm doing the whole
Not
Zoom
fancy
work
pants.
from home thing. Where
She's not fancy pants today.
Party on the top. These are workout pants on the bottom.
So, other really cute flowers like daffodils, while they're sweet, don't necessarily work the best in long-term wearables. I love to still use them in the spring. I do sometimes tuck them in, just not for event work, but I think they're a really cute way of kind of wearing spring. So I'm including them. However, I'm going to tell you, do not use the daffodils.
Where's your hyacinth?
Oh, he's over here.
Oh, I shoved mine down in the, no.
What'd you do?
Because my flower face is
fine.
so big that I shoved it down in the box.
So clearly there's different ways of making these.
This is not going to look as good as hers, I can already tell. But it's fine.
Okay, so when we're making a boutonniere, boutonnieres are worn by the men, okay? So think
usually, but you can, whoever can wear them.
Correct, but boutonnieres are more masculine associated, as in more minimalistic, streamlined, and typically don't have a bow. They may have a ribbon tie off, but not a bow. A Pinon corsage is an oversized boutonniere, typically adorned by a lady, and has a bow embellishment, typically, on it. Now, there's always ways of breaking the rules. These are just kind of the traditional definitions of what these wearable pieces are. So if you're talking with a florist, you now know what they're asking about when they say a Pinon corsage versus a Pinon boutonniere. So you can see here, this is something I would make to wear to church. I love this. And because I would wear this to church, I'm going to make this into a Pinon corsage while you finish yours out as a boutonniere.
This is going to take forever. We're going to be here all night, people.
You're fine. So while you're working on taping yours off, I have mine set aside. Here's what I typically do. I love to use one of our Floral Genius pen cups. You just like almost smacked me with that.
You never know what's going to happen here in Thunderdome.
I fill these with water, and then I actually just put my corsage or boutonnieres in here so they can continue to drink while I am designing other things, working on the ribbons. If I'm making a couple of them, I will let them all drink while I'm finishing construction. So since we are working on pin-ons, I want to talk about the different types of pins that you might find. They always come in these really nifty little boxes that I tend to butcher and maul and not open neatly or correctly.
She doesn't care about any packaging.
It's kind of like...
She's correct about that. She doesn't care about packaging. You're going to send her something in a nice box? Forget the box. Just throw it in a brown grocery bag.
You do.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because I know what you're going to do.
Okay, all right. So let's talk about the different types of pens that you may have to use. So the only one that I don't have, which would have been really smart to have, is going to be your standard blank topped blanket pen. It's called a bank pen. It has no real fun end, just a little silver top to catch itself. Those are plain pens that can be used. A lot of times these are used in sewing. Those can be used if you're making a boutonniere or corsage at home. The other types of pens on the market are these pearl-topped pens, and these I'm sure you have all seen in different corsages. These I brought are all white pearl-topped pens, and they're different size. So this one that has a really large pearl on the top, a robust pen to it, needle, it's extra long. This is called a corsage pen. So this would go to hold on the more beefy, bulky, sizable pin-on pieces that we call corsages. Then we have these two guys. And this, which has a longer needle, but a very dainty little pearled pen, this is a boutonniere pen. And that's what we use typically on our smaller pin-ons, boutonnieres.
Sorry, I almost used the wrong scissors. You gotta tell them about the scissors.
Let me finish about the pens. Okay, so this little teeny guy here, if you ever come across these are called pixie pens. These are used by designers to finish off the ribbons on bouquet handles for brides and bridesmaids and things along those lines. Handheld bouquets. This is not going to help you when you're making pin-on boutonnieres or corsages. So if you find really short pins, they're not the ones for this job. My scissors.
Okay, so I almost did the unthinkable.
I have a thing about scissors.
Thing.
So
there's these scissors, which I'm allowed to use.
You can use that on whatever you want.
And then there's these that have written on them ribbon scissors. It says ribbon scissors.
What do I threaten?
Death.
To cut your fingers off if you cut anything but ribbon, because that's how we keep them nice and sharp, and we're able to cut really perfect ends on our ribbon as long as they haven't cut anything else. There are different types of ribbon. I love the soft silk, and it makes a really beautiful floppy bouquet. This is a double-faced satin. It's a little stiffer. It is more traditional for a pin-on corsage, and what I'm going to use today. I use this primarily in my wedding work, and it also comes in a really thin width, which is perfect for boutonnieres. I love it. So we'll show that here in a minute. As I am working for my corsage, I will make a center loop and hold, then I will fold. I like the fact that this is double-faced, so I don't have to do any fancy twisting to get my bow to have a shiny, consistent side. I give myself probably more loops than I even need, but I like a big bow and I can't lie. Okay, then I'm gonna take an extra piece of wire. I'm running it right through that center loop. My thumb is the only thing holding this, by the way. And I'm just gonna grab and twist, 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 twist,
sound like
twist.
a Jane Fonda video.
And gesture size. Okay, I actually will leave a tail on this here and cut it so that I can incorporate my ribbon underneath the boutonniere and then tape that in with the rest of my stems. Here's a little trick that I didn't set myself up for very well, but a lot of times I will tear off on a dry. This only will stick to dry. Small sections, cut it. There you go. So that I have a whole bunch to work from right in front of me. Are you allergic to my flowers?
No, it's spring.
It's spring, and so your allergies are just...
I think it's good that I don't make these for people that pay for them.
I like this one though.
Yeah, I mean, yes, there is a big difference between hers and mine.
Whatever, I think yours is cute. I think it looks
but
great.
it doesn't sit.
Hold on, we're gonna put, oh it does. Hold on, we're gonna ribbon wrap it and you'll have a different feeling about it.
You think so?
No, I know so.
She knows so. Anybody y'all
So-
have a sister who knows everything? Because I do.
So that is what I would consider a spring pin-on corsage. I always like to well prepare my people. So on corsages, I typically will include 4 pins. Yeah, that's right. I want them on there for good with mine. And we'll do a whole nother segment on proper pinning techniques for these guys. So
Teach me, because
stay tuned to future DWI installments. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. Okay, let me help you with yours.
I feel like I need this, though.
You just keep adding and it's going to turn into a corsage.
It is already a corsage, I'm sure.
So there's also the beauty of editing. Not digital editing.
That's all I know how to do.
It's floral editing.
Don't you shake your scissors at me, lady.
That's like a bouquet. What did you do?
Listen, it needed it.
It didn't need it.
It needed it. Had to have it. Got it.
That's so large.
It's something. It needs just a little bit more of this.
Oh my gosh.
We can wrap.
Okay.
I already screwed up my anemone. I see what you're saying about this is not the flower.
Yeah, they don't
too delicate.
They are
from me just like spinning it.
If you are unsure, give yourself time. Take that flower that you think you're going to want to use in a couple of days for a boutonniere and cut one and leave it out of water and see how long it continues to look good. Okay? Good idea to vase life test and out of water test all of these flowers that we like to use on personals.
Okay.
Okay, so when we're wrapping a boutonniere, I always leave everything attached and cut from the spool. I'll take and leave a little tail, okay? I'm holding it up, facing me, and I will use my finger to hold that tail at the top back of the flower, okay? I then will wrap, and I want to leave that tail kind of hanging down over the top, okay? When I wrap, I want it tight, and I want to do a small overlap just so there's no gaps. Once I have a nice little band of my ribbon, I will pull that tail to the front, lay my boutonniere down, and I will just do a simple 2-tie knot tie off, and then cut it from the spool. And then the only amount that you risk losing is the length of your initial tail. So a lot of times when we're, I was using the wrong scissors.
Oh my God.
I know.
You were using snips. You weren't even using scissors. Watch my daffodil.
I should just cut that one out for you.
Yeah, she's just cutting.
I am just cutting. Okay, so I'm going to show you up close. I hope you can see that. This is just, I'm trying to hold up these petals. This is just a very simple ribbon knot tie off underneath. And so you can see there's no real ribbon bow. There's just some tails. You can get rid of those. You can tie those in the back. So if you don't even want to see them on the boutonnieres, remember we're using the correct pins here.
Yeah, the booty pins.
I always do 3. Again, I like to overindulge on the pins. Once it's bent, it's really hard to use. And there's nothing worse than bending the only 2 pins in the box, and then what do?
Nothing.
Yeah, so
You toast.
there's a cute little boutonniere.
Little isn't, I'm not sure the word I would use for it.
But I think you can see the difference here in a Pinon corsage versus a boutonniere. This might be a robust boutonniere.
It is. It's very large. I've seen hers. They're much prettier than this. They look but more like that.
But I think, yeah. I love it. Do you need me to pin
Now,
you?
do you cut off this part?
You can. I would leave it more exposed so that your flowers can continue to drink up the water.
Oh, so not to put... All right, so what she's saying is I made a fatal flaw.
It's not a fatal flaw.
I took the floral, that tape stuff...
All the way down. And if you do
down.
that, you probably want to ribbon wrap the whole way down, which is a little bit more complicated of a wrap technique to do, but can be done to give a more sophisticated boutonniere look. I prefer to have the stems exposed. That way flowers that are a little bit more delicate actually have a chance of making it in a wearable for a little bit longer. They can drink. I keep my things hydrated right up to the last minute of wearing them. Yeah. Not bad. Okay, guys, I hope you learned something here with us. I hope you're going to enjoy living a better life with flowers. And until next time on DWI, take care, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.